Disguised as an ordinary commoner, the king set out to track down the mastermind behind the slanderous rumors against him. Meanwhile, unaware of the looming peril, the girl spoke out loud, claiming the king was either fond of men, or entirely infertile and unable to father heirs. Enraged by her words, the king burned to prove her wrong on the spot. She had just bragged she would never be tracked down, when royal guards burst in without warning, and dragged her off to the dungeon. On the eve of her execution, the girl feigned delirium, boasting she could commune with the spirits of the departed. She claimed the real reason behind the king's nationwide marriage ban was his lingering grief over his late queen, whom he could never forget. Shocked that she had stumbled onto the truth, the king spared her life and kept her as his personal maid. He pressed her to prove she could truly speak with the deceased queen. Without hesitation, the girl put on an act, convincingly pretending to be possessed by the queen's spirit. At dinner that evening, the starving maid stared blankly at empty space, as if the late queen stood right beside them. Startled, the king hurried to ask what the spirit needed. The girl tilted her head as if listening intently, then relayed the supposed message. "The queen says she is starving." The king replied softly without delay. "Then let her remain and dine alongside us." Taking full advantage, the girl shamelessly snatched the king's own dishes and delicacies, clearing out all the food he had set aside for himself. Once full and satisfied, she put on a show to send the queen's spirit away, and the king even waved gently toward the empty air. After the meal, the girl knew the king had gone a full week without sleep, tormented by longing for his deceased spouse. To tire him out so he could rest, she taunted that his martial skills paled in comparison to his royal guards. Unwilling to swallow the insult, the king immediately picked up sparring against his men. The girl watched the bout with obvious delight, muttering how nice a bowl of popcorn would make the moment perfect. Every man present froze in shock. Even the guards lost their focus mid-fight. Seizing the split-second distraction, the king struck forward, only to trip on a stone floor tile and tumble heavily to the ground. He paused briefly, then rose again, acting as if nothing had occurred. Back inside the palace chambers, the king prepared to change his robes. The girl's eyes lit up at once, insisting earnestly that bathing and wiping down her sovereign was part of a maid's official duties. The king hastily shook his head in alarm. Late at night, the sleepless king asked the girl to tell him a bedtime story, but after just a few lines, he interrupted her. "If there's a sword stuck in the chest, wouldn't the person already be dead?" The girl explained that he was the goblin, and only the goblin's bride could draw the sword. Seeing that the king was still not sleepy, she began another story. Legend has it there exists an inn, exclusively for ghosts and spirits to stay. Its owner has lived for centuries, yet never ages a day. As the girl narrated vividly, the king finally slowly closed his eyes, and fell into a deep sleep.